guys, oh my God, this season, like we couldn't talk about any of it and I had not seen it when we started, but holy beep, like
It's fun, right?
it's so much fun. And I have to start with The Wall. I'm sorry, but I'm not because I
Yeah.
loved it so much.
Thank you.
If you had to give a piece of watch list advice for next season and The Wall and where we're going,
Oh,
like Chinatown for this season, you
okay.
know, if you're able to, what
Sure.
would you put on
You have a
the
little
viewing
bit,
list?
I would put on your watch list, I would watch Apollo 13. I would
Core.
watch The Core.
Okay, The Core is one of my favorite films, non-ironically.
I would watch The Core, Apollo 13, and I would let's just
I'm trying to
leave
think
it
of the
at
other
that.
ones we
Let's
talked
leave it
about.
at that.
Okay, those are perfect. Those are perfect as they are. We're
Yeah,
just gonna
it's a
leave
bit
it there.
of it's a bit of an adventure this season in The Wall.
Oh my God. It just brought me so much joy. And this is such a weird specific animation thing, but the way the lizard moves.
Isn't
and,
that
like,
funny? No, I'm so glad you said
And I
that.
know it's
wanted to talk
realistic.
about
Like
too.
I know that's how they move.
Well,
But
it was Mike, I think we spent all of our budget on making sure that it flopped in the right
But
way.
we kept saying it has to be a floppy lizard, and the artist kept being like, "Why? It's hard." And we kept being like, "We don't know why. It's just funny." And,
it is.
and then
It's
watching
perfect.
it, my wife kept being like, "God, I love that floppy lizard." Like,
So much. It's just so goofy, but also like, ugh,
Yeah.
nature's weird.
you know what else you need to watch before season 6 to like be ready for The Wall?
Okay.
Rewatch first and second season The Wall.
Okay.
Because first and second season directly lead to this
Ooh.
upcoming season. Yeah.
I mean, look, we
Yeah.
got some people came back this season that I was
you know
not
that
expecting.
hand coming out of the
Yeah.
ground? You know,
Yeah.
the Duke comes back.
Yeah.
That's a huge part of season 6.
Okay. So if you guys had a make a live Ray and you could use it on one public figure, so that way you don't have to be like, oh, my great grandma or whatever.
Right,
Who would you use it on?
Who would I bring back to life?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, this is gonna get so.
Are you going
sad.
Trek? Are you going like Leonard Nimoy?
Well, that's the
or
thing
what?
is there's so many.
That's who my mother would pick is Leonard Nimoy. No questions
Leonard
asked.
Nimoy. There's like I never got to meet Rene Auberginois, who played Odo on Deep Space Nine. I would love to meet him. I mean Carrie Fisher. Like
Ooh.
you know, it's hard.
I didn't say you get to meet the person. I just said you get to bring them. No, I'm kidding.
Well, no, I'm the one who has to bring the life ray. They're gonna be like, you got brought back to life, but you don't get to meet the dude who did it.
I have just been
Brutal.
rewatching all The Sopranos. I really miss James
Oh,
Gandolfini.
Gandolfini. Yeah.
That was a shame. That one's a shame.
I also like that you both went with entertainment and not like, you
World
know,
leader,
a
like
world leader, a
Mahatma Gandhi.
scientist who could cure something.
Yeah, maybe like-
Einstein.
I'm gonna say Gandhi. Gandhi, that's better.
Mm.
Gandhi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh
No.
will say Gandhi, and I'll say
It's
Mitch
Gandolfini.
No,
Mitch
it's
Hedberg and Gandhi.
Mitch
Okay.
Hedberg, Gandhi, and James Gandolfini. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really curious, having you watched the season that I was like rewatching again because why not? There are so many pop culture references, right? And you do this every season. But how do you determine what is timeless and what you want to include because it helps capture the zeitgeist now? And like, how do you cull things out that you're like, that's just going to be so niche and passe by the time it airs?
If it's recent, we trend to not do it. We tend
Okay.
to not.
Okay.
If it is stuff from the 90s or now creeping into like the early 2000s and it's really stupid, like
Okay.
if we were going to have a guest star on the show, like Chapel Rowan wouldn't make sense, but the Anaconda from the movie Anaconda would. Like there's like like, because we're not the Simpsons, right? Like we're not going to have Aerosmith on, and we're not South Park where the joke that we're making is going to air, you know, a month later kind of thing, or maybe even later that week.
Right.
So like we're kind of prognosticating to a year from now. So like choosing things that we liked that have lived in theaters, on DVD, and now on streaming, like what's the best thing to do is to pick something that has sequels now, but we're referring to the older version of it. You
But
know
like
what I mean?
we have a hilarious that a couple people picked up on, which is one of my favorite jokes of the year
is I think Jesse says when they talk about her, is that this season, The Chronicler, where she's like, I'm like the J.K. Rowling of this bitch.
That was
And
a
then it
couple
says,
seasons ago.
oh, right. This joke was written in 2013.
Yeah, we knew
yeah.
that was
Rowling
going to be
was-
evergreen. We didn't think she was going to clean up her act. But like
She was not going to clean up our act by that. But like we have a thing coming in season 6. Terry gets a new job. And
yes.
it's something that's actually really, really big right now. but it felt like it was worth it to us because we feel like it'll still be big in a year.
Yeah.
And it's like such a huge trend right now. And we loved, and it was so perfect for Terry, not to give it away, that one felt like, okay, that's worth doing.
It just
right?
has to be funny and stupid, and like, you know, like we had Miss Thing, a female version of the Thing from the movie The Thing in last season, and we just gave her a bow on her head like Miss Pac-Man, like that kind of joke. I love, you know.
That's timeless. But I'm like, somebody on your writing staff is clearly like a Bravo fan, because you said 20 years ago, but like there are a bunch of Below Deck jokes and like Andy
that's
Cohen
me.
stuff.
I love Below Deck. I watch all the Below Deck shows. My wife and I call it the boat shows, and we watched it because I was like, people keep saying Below Decks when they mean Lower Decks. We should go watch this show. And now we've watched every fucking episode of it. So
I'm so sad because we're in like a gap between seasons. There's like, we're between Med and Yacht, and I'm just like,
and they got rid of the reunion shows for some reason.
I think for probably a good reason. I think for a very
never
good.
watched.
Josh is like, I have no idea what's going on right now.
So I never watched the show. I was in a hotel room, no big deal. I've been in a hotel room, and it came on.
I've been put up in a hotel.
I was doing work, and it came on, and I'm like, everybody in the writing staff watches this show. I need to watch it. And it happened to be that one episode where like three people got accused of sexual harassment.
No,
and I remember
that Australia one.
Yeah, and I remember I was like texting everybody like, is this what the show is every week? And they're like, no. That one was like, the guy got accused of sexual harassment, then she got accused of sexual harassment. Remember, that was like the craziest episode.
Incredibly accused, I believe is what you mean. But yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, listen, that happens too, is like, something that happens in Lower Decks all the time, Dana, is if there's something that my wife and I share, I will put it in Lower Decks in order to make just her laugh. And if it works for everybody else, great.
But we do that too on, so like we have a whole Highlander or Outlander thing because
Outlander, because I was watching Outlander with Brooke, and then our son plays the Pupa. And then there's a whole,
but like Mike and I are massive sub fans, so we have lots of Hunt for Red October and Crimson Tide and you know. Yeah.
And Star Trek obviously gets in there all the time. Like in the Halloween episode, you've got General Chang from Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country showing up. Like, you know, what it is we're never thinking about what's going to work for everybody. We're thinking about what is working for us, like what just makes us laugh, you know, personally.
Got it.
By the way, you know what makes me laugh that no one has mentioned that I think is sneaky, one of the funniest things in the Hollywood episode, and Sean is so good as the sexy, weird, sexy cat. Yumyulack as the sexy cat, like,
I'm trying to figure out if I have enough time to put that together for Halloween itself, and also if the weather will not be 200 degrees for Halloween.
It would make me laugh so hard. Because Sean is such a sweetheart.
He actually had to rewrite that scene because he was playing it. He was like, oh my God, put it in me and stuff. Like he was going so far with it.
Sexy.
That like we watched it and we were like, this is problematic. We have to rewrite this. Like it was
but he's
wild.
so funny. I mean, yeah.
Sean is such a delight. What is the key in your minds to like a successful holiday special versus like a regular season episode, right? Because it's still the characters, they still have to exist, but you also need to like be like, oh, time has passed since people maybe have watched this. Also, it's Halloween. Like, how do you approach that from like, you know, a production and a writer's room standpoint?
I have a weird answer to that, and it's not the biggest answer, but it's true. Holiday specials and finales, there's a similarity between them, which
season
is
finales,
season finales, which is when you sit down with the writers to be like, let's start throwing ideas out there in the most nascent stage, like the very beginning. I always go, I want this to feel special. And how do you define that? I want this to feel. So for a finale, it's how is this episode different from all the others? You know what I mean?
Right.
And how are we going to make it feel like the season led to this in a lot of little ways, you know? And for a holiday special, it's what can we do that you can't do in the middle of the season? And what are all the things that feel special? Whether that's IP guest stars, the music that we're using, the standalone story, you know,
By the way, even in the Valentine's Day, we flipped it and we actually had a massive thing happen to our characters, which you never see in specials. You never see like something happen to characters that then would go into the
you redefine the entire paradigm of the show.
Redefine their entire relationship, and I loved that. Like this one is a direct sequel to the first Halloween special. You never see that in specials either. No one's dumb enough to do that except us.
Yeah,
brave enough.
What's going to make it feel special? How do you define stories about this holiday, and then how do we fuck around with it to make it a solar opposites like funny episode? You know.
Tell me what mode you're in, Mike, without telling me what mode you're in. Okay, my very last question, most important: what is the best Halloween candy, and what is the worst Halloween candy?
Oh, that changes as you age. It
could be for you right now.
For me right now, I think that the pumpkin shaped
Reese's
peanut butter cups are the best. And I know that Josh's favorite is a creamy white chocolate Toblerone and a free toothbrush.
Can I tell you something? Reese's is my #1 candy.
Okay.
Any Reese's, but do you know what I love more than anything? And my kids never eat them, so when they get separated, there's a million of them. I love an Almond Joy.
Oh,
that is like a no.
And I also, yeah. Let's make sure we don't take a screenshot of that. And then the other thing,
Hulu is sweating so much right now.
He's like, I love to eat them. The kids are in bed.
Daniel's like,
Daniel
quit Zoom.
Shut it down. Buy Zoom.
I'll tell you guys a little. So I love Almond Joy because I love coconut and chocolate. I love Almond Joy. Do you notice there's never any mounds?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Sure.
Do you guys want to know why?
Because
it's dark chocolate and it's more expensive.
Okay, I thought it was good because almonds are also terrible for the environment and like really hard to grow and like they use so much water. This is why we're in.
But
oh, you're right. Almond Joy is the opulent candy. Okay, I get it.
Listen,
you are a man of
Almond
opulence.
Joy has nuts. Mounds don't.
Josh, you know what they should put in? She's right. Those are bad for the environment. They should make a new Almond Joy where instead of an almond in the middle, there's a single Lego, and then you can just collect.
I would love
Legos
that.
As you're eating Almond Joys.
But for some reason, like when my kids are separating their candy and there's just a massive pile of Almond Joy that they're like, I don't even want to look at that. It's disgusting.
I
can house like 10 of those.
I like the York peppermint patties because nobody.
I love those.
Nobody likes those. Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
so basically, you guys are like scavenger, except for the pumpkin ones. Yeah, you are strategic Halloween people. I appreciate this. You're like, what will I get the most of?
Pumpkin ones all year round now? Or are they
no,
really
you cannot.
Okay, that's good.
But you know what's tough?
I want them to keep doing that because I don't.
Daniel, I am so sorry.
What's really tough is when you take an edible and like the fucking Halloween candy's in the house and like it's like 11 at night. And you come lurking into the kitchen like high Nosferatu, and you're like, "What do we got in this candy bin?" And then it's like, "Oh, a Snickers." You know, like
yeah, it's never just one. It's never just one.
It's so hard. Anyway,
but my kids are such snobs now. They'll walk around and be like, I don't want a mini. If it's not a full size, I'm not going to that house." And they'll literally like walk by a house where a bunch of kids are coming down the path and they'll be like, full size? And the guy will be like, nah. I'll be like, fuck you, fuck that house.
Bro, what neighborhood do you live in? My God, that anybody's giving out.
I'll send you his address. We'll give you his address for the.
A lot of people give out.
I'll see you as a sexy cat on Halloween.
give out hot Wendy's fries at my house, and the kids are like, "Yeah, the best fries."
You know what? I actually give out hot baked potatoes from Wendy's. That's what I give. I go to the Wendy's.
Oh yeah.
And I get all the baked
comes
potatoes.
Up and I'm like, I like your costume. I'm going to give you 2 scoops of chili right into the bucket. You know,
just hold out your hands.
Have as much as you want. It's really hot.
Dana, hold out your hands. Come on. He has more respect than that. He will put it in the little plastic.
It's
Halloween.
too hot to put in the kids' hands.
Sometimes they have the pillowcases though, and you can't do that because then it just strains.
It goes right in the pillowcase because it sits at the bottom and it doesn't seep out at all.
We go out for Halloween with a kid who they're very COVID conscious, and he has a pipe attached to his costume that they put the candy in, and it goes down the pipe into the bucket, so he doesn't have to get within 6 feet of the people handing out the candy. And I'll tell you, I thought that was stupid, but when I got to put the candy in the pipe, it was better than handing it to the kid. I was like,
my kids are like teenagers, and so it's all about volume. My 13-year-old will come back with a pillowcase that is so full of candy,
of
chili and candy.
Lots of chili.
What are you going to do? Yeah, lots of chili.
We
give out, you know what we give out? We started to give out, actually, the kids really like, is we just give out the bread bowls that chili come in sometimes.
You know what
it's
sucks?
just the bread bowls.
just to take it back to being, just to actually answer a question. What sucks is later in the night, when you start to realize you're running out of chili and you don't have any cans left, and it's like, fuck, what do I have in the house other than chili? And you're like you're giving out diced onions, you're giving out toppings, because like you always give out the chili. The kids all want the chili, but they don't all want the toppings. So then you're like, oh, don't egg my house. Here's some shaved cheese. And they're like, we want chili, you know?
No, Mike, you know what you got to do? Where I live, it's pretty fancy, I will admit, is we do Manhattan clam chowder. That's like the fanciest.
I like that. More people are doing that.
Manhattan, though. It has to be Manhattan or you're not fancy.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It's like the king size of the clam chowders, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, they're like, is it Manhattan or no? And they run away if it's not.
Yeah, they're like, it's not Manhattan, it's New England. And the kids turn around. It's weird because like, there's a lot of popular things. Like I see a lot of parents do like a little mini bar for like the adults now where they like, oh, they'll have like a little keg and like, you'll walk around the neighborhood with a cup and like, you'll get a little beer, like a little growler beer while, yeah, this is a real thing. And I fill up a super soaker full of scotch and nobody wants to get hit by it, but it's like free scotch. So I don't know what they're complaining about. They have the chili. Do they not want to be soaked in scotch? But
this has gone off the rails. Daniel's like,
Daniel is
his
so
career.
I'm so sorry, Daniel. Please.
Whatever, Daniel, then he won't get the chili. He can learn to live with that choice.
Daniel will only get mounds.
I'm going to yell at you later for letting us go long, Daniel. This is on you.